And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Thursday, July 28th. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com. And here are some of the news stories from the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Tribal leaders, Attorney General Eric Holder, and other top Justice Department officials were meeting in Rapid City, South Dakota on Wednesday, July 27th to discuss law enforcement issues, and today had prepared for a journey to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in village of Wounded Knee, where Holder was scheduled to participate in a meeting in a special wreath-laying ceremony at the mass grave. The trip comes at a time when supporters of Leonard Peltier had indicated on Facebook they intended to make their presence known only 2 days from the day of what would have been FBI agent Ron Williams' 64th birthday and a summer of grand jury hearings on the death of black civil rights worker Perry Ray Robinson Jr., who was killed and buried there at Wounded Knee in 1973 by members of the American Indian Movement under the leadership of Carter Camp, Dennis Banks, and Clyde Bellecourt. The trip coincides with the one-year anniversary of President Obama's signing of the Tribal Law and Order Act into law. 30 U.S. attorneys were participating in the Joint Native American Issues Subcommittee and Attorney General's Advisory Committee meeting that took place in Rapid City. Attorney General Holder, Associate Attorney General Tom Pirelli, Assistant Attorney General Ignacia C. Moreno of the Environment and Natural Resources Division, Department of Interior, Bureau of Indian Affairs Secretary Larry Echohawk, and other officials were all engaging in listening sessions with tribal leaders to hear from advocates in the fields of tribal safety and domestic violence prevention. A South Dakota man has been sentenced in federal court for illegally obtaining livestock grazing privileges on American Indian land. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Frank Viet of Dupree pled guilty and made a conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Authorities says Viet and his family falsely represented themselves as Cheyenne River Sioux tribal members in order to pasture non-Indian-owned cattle. The scheme reportedly allowed the family to avoid paying the $6 per head per month charge and defrauded the tribe of nearly $17,000. U.S. District Judge Roberto A. Lange sentenced Viet to 6 months in custody and ordered him to pay back the tribe. Federal officials have ruled that a Tahlequah, Oklahoma casino operated by the United Keetoowah Band is not on Indian land, referring the matter to state officials for possible action. The casino has been operating for 20 years, while the question of its legal status remained tied up in federal red tape, court cases, and disputes between the UKB tribe and the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma. Tracy Stevens, chairwoman of the National Indian Gaming Commission, sent the letter last week to UKB Chief George Wycliffe, Principal Chief of the Cherokees, and Chad Smith of the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma, and Attorney General Scott Pruitt. Stevens' letter reviews an 11-year history of legal disputes over whether the casino exists on Indian land and concludes the gaming site is not currently Indian land eligible for gaming under federal law. Dirk Whitebreast, a 31-year-old member of the Sac and Fox tribe of the Mississippi in Iowa, is taking on the challenge of running 10 marathons in 30 days in an effort to raise awareness of the challenges facing Native youth and address the tragic level of suicide in Indian country. For a full list of Dirk's marathons and to support Dirk's 262-mile run by donating to the Center for Native American Youth, please visit aspeninstitute.org/Dirk's Run. We'll put that URL up there so you can read that as well. Ada, Oklahoma resident Billy Ward, like many other Chickasaw Nation members, had grown weary of the usual drill when he needed to see a diabetes doctor at the local tribal clinic. Clinic employees were overwhelmed by the sheer number of people seeking treatment, so much so that even routine appointments often had to be made weeks in advance. Health officials with the Ada-based tribe of about 49,000 members believe that won't ever be an issue again, at least not in the near future, thanks to a $146 million Chickasaw Nation Medical Center. The center, built using a unique public-private partnership, celebrates its first year of operation this month. The 370,000 square foot center is almost triple the size of the clinic it replaced and includes a 72-bed hospital, an emergency department, a diabetes care center, a dental clinic, a diagnostic imaging center, a women's health center, and offices for the tribe's health care programs. An arts exhibit focusing on Mardi Gras Indian organizations will be on display at Xavier University through September 9th. The exhibit features beadwork, photographs, and other materials created during summer camp sessions taught by artist and educator Big Chief Daryl Montana of the Yellow Pocahontas Group and the Big Chief Walter Landry of the Black Mohawks. The 4-week session featured instruction in the varied Mardi Gras Indian costumes, sewing styles, and historical narratives that highlighted the Mardi Gras Indian culture, a tradition that endured since the mid-19th century in New Orleans. And I think anthropologists think there may be a direct link between the Mardi Gras Indians and those Indians involved in the Boston Tea Party as well. So we'll take a look at that. And to get back to some real Indian stuff, the 59th Cherokee National Holiday has booth space available at 4 locations for interested arts and crafts vendors. Cherokee National Holiday takes place over Labor Day weekend and draws more than 90,000 visitors each year, making it a great venue for marketing authentic Native American arts and crafts. The holiday has become known as a major destination for those seeking to buy genuine Cherokee and other southeastern Native American artwork. Some locations are also accepting applications for food and beverage concessions. For concession space costs and information, you want to contact the location coordinator. And all vendors are required to supply their own tables, chairs, and tents. A limited number of spaces are available with electricity at each location except the Cherokee Heritage Center grounds. And for a full schedule of events and those contacts of the coordinators for those 4 sites, you want to get a hold of 918-453-5536 or visit http://holiday.cherokee.org, and we'll put that URL and phone number up there for you too. There are real Native American Indians, no Mardi Gras party-going Indians, and that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update, and that's it. Check out Kim Burley Acosta tomorrow with another Native News Update.